let's go ahead and get this shit started. Trying to get it to connect. Yo, this is part 2 from the Penthouse, baby. Shit. All we gotta do is get it to connect and then it's game time. And here we go. Music is on. It's your man, Michael Jackson. Look, I told y'all I was showing up in the robe tonight, okay? Listen, after I got off work, I ain't gonna lie to you. I wore this around places. So, shout out to you if you saw me in the robe. But if you didn't, you missed out on greatness because I look like a real boss in one of these. Either that or I look like a big-ass goofball. It's probably the latter. Let's see, man. We got a live show tonight, man. It's going to be lit. Like I said, we've been recording live this week from the Penthouse, which has been pretty cool. Shout out to my man, Jimmy. It's a guy I work with, man. He's a good dude, man. So I appreciate you letting me use the spot while you're out doing whatever it is that you do. I've been able to come and go as I please to the Penthouse. I actually met quite a few people that stay over here. So I actually might be back over here at some point. You know, I just be out here making friends. It's one of the goals for 2020. Let's become friends with random ass strangers. So what was Buddy's name? I think it was Paul. Forget what room he stayed in. But shout out to Paul. I don't know what Paul does or who Paul is, but a nice dude. I don't know if he's somebody I'd invite over for a barbecue, but you know, maybe like a pizza night or like a kid's birthday party. He seemed like that's more his speed. I don't know, man. These people are cool out here in Mercer Island. So shout out to them for not messing with me, not hitting me, you know, with the, you know how they just be calling the law on people when they're like, they feel like people are out of place and in an area that they shouldn't be. I appreciate them for not trying to like, you know, sun me or nothing like that. Because that shit could happen to you. So, shout out to the good folks in Mercer Island. My man, Jimmy. It was lit this week. So, last show at the Penthouse. And then we go into next week. Man, who knows? Well, Tuesday, we're going to have Sherry on. And she's going to host the show with me. So, we said that after episode 25, we would start having hosts on the show. And I figured what better way to start than to have the CEO of Track Talk Radio host the show with me, because the show is hosted on tracktalkradio.com from 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Tuesdays and Thursdays, boy. So, me and Sherry are going to host the show on Tuesday. And then Thursday, hopefully we're going to have the other co-hosts be on. I got to get this dude to get his schedule right, man. He's out here fooling. Probably it's going to be lit next week, man. I mean, I think all of our shows going forward are going to be lit. But tonight, we got some good stuff, y'all. I'm not going to give any details, but I do plan to kind of give you an update on how I felt about my first therapy appointment, because that was one of the key topics. Excuse me, let me get situated. That was one of the key topics on Tuesday's show, was just basically what cracked off at the appointment. So it was pretty cool. We got some NBA stuff. Obviously, we got to talk about the NBA. We got Anthony Davis hurt. LeBron, I think, is back ahead, leading all-star votes. Man, I saw like 500,000 people voted for Steph Curry. How 500,000 people voting to see him playing the game? He only played one game the whole damn season. That doesn't make any sense. We got some World War III updates. Excuse me. Say that 10 times fast. What else we got? Yo, we got another NBA thing, but this is more of like obviously, you know, your man is always doing some type of race battle type of stuff. Not purposely, but, you know, this is just the shit that gets thrown up on the screen a lot when people are looking through stuff. But Cleveland Cavaliers coach John Beilein claims it was an accident, but during a meeting or something, he called his players thugs, but claims he was trying to call them slugs because of I guess they've been having some slow play on the court. They're taking a long time to get into their sets, and they're not really running the fast break a lot. So he was meaning to call them slugs, but then accidentally called them thugs. I'm not buying that shit. Listen, man, it's okay. Honestly, guys, it's it's okay. If you're white and you still just are under the assumption that most niggas are criminals, it's okay. It just means that you're kind of a shitty person. Just own it. Don't say something stupid, then say you didn't notice, because those words don't sound the same. Slugs. That starts with an S, fam. It doesn't sound the same as thugs. I mean, I guess it kind of does a little tiny bit, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like when I hear it, I know the difference. You were not trying to call them slugs, all right? You guys are moving around like thugs out there. Nah, I'm not buying it. But anyway, if you're gonna say that stuff, don't come with the half-hearted, corny-ass apology. Just own it. Be like, look, it was an honest mistake. I'm stupid sometimes, and I say dumb shit. I didn't mean it like that. I just meant they're not really getting after it during these games, and it's on my goddamn nerves. It's okay if you say that. He came with the fake apology, this and that. And there's a lot of people that really know this guy, and they say he's a stand-up dude and that he didn't mean it. So I have to give him the benefit of the doubt, take their word for it, because I don't know him. I just know that he's an average coach. The Cavs aren't doing good, and I don't know. That's about it. Everything about Cleveland is kind of it's up in the air, bro. Like no one really cares, but then we're like kind of concerned about them because they went from being so great when they had LeBron, and now it's like, shit, man, deep in the basement. That's where the Cleveland Cavaliers are. So no one really cares about that, but I still got to give my 2 cents on it because I think Buddy was just goofing, man. He's just being stupid. What else we got on tap for tonight? R.I.P. Mac Miller, but his family has said that they're about to release this last album that he recorded before his passing. It should be interesting. I didn't really get into Mac Miller's stuff until after he passed. And I only say that because I never really followed music as tough as far as like new artists rolling in after like 07, 08. So unless somebody's like bringing somebody to me and forcing me to listen to it, it probably takes me forever to catch on and, you know, finally see that a nigga's got some skills or somebody can sing or whatever the case may be. I'll be finding out about people way late because I'm not checking for new music like that. Some of the stuff just don't be sounding good. And then a lot of these people, when I see them in magazines and on music videos, I be looking at them like, fam, you don't look like your music's any good. Now, I'm not saying that about Mac. Mac was just one of these guys that I just didn't hear about until after his passing. And when people were like so broken up about it, I'm like, who is this guy? What does he do? I didn't know what he did. He has some good music. So I'm going to check out the album, but it got me thinking about the fact that when artists die, like why, not to say that they shouldn't do it. I'm excluding this situation, but thinking about other artists where they've dropped like 10 albums after their death. And I feel like that's just not something that I don't want to hear that. Let's intro the show. Yo, stop the music. Yo, you are now tuned in live to the Meemco Jackson Show. I'm sorry it took me so long to come on the air. I'm in here yapping. I am fleeced out in my robe, looking good. No, I'm not naked under this shit, so don't even ask. There's been a few people who saw the last episode and they heard me talking about the robe and they're like being all nasty, talking about, oh yeah, you're gonna be on there and be naked. No, I'm not gonna be naked. My grandmother and my mother and my sister check this show out. So fam, I'm not finna be naked, okay? But appreciate everybody showing me love. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, man. It is Thursday, January 9th. You know what today marks? Today marks my 5-year anniversary in Seattle. Give it up for me, man. I made it 5 years. If you know anything about me, people know that I move every couple of years. And sometimes I move to different cities and or states with almost no hesitation, no money, no plan, I just be moving, bro. I get tired, I don't want to be there, and I bump out. Irish goodbye everywhere I go. I try to slide out of that motherfucker. But anyway, 5 years strong, man. I love it. Seattle's a dope place. The only reason I really say that I'll stay forever is because this is probably as good as it's gonna get as far as weather is concerned. Nothing is too extreme. It's never like crazy burning hot, not like Florida, not like Texas and other places I've been. And it does snow. We had some snow last year and there was the threat of snow today, but it really is not that bad. It does not rain like y'all think it does, man. It's okay. The only real thing that's shitty about this place is the traffic and the fact that these people can't drive. I'm sorry. Even though I went to therapy yesterday, I don't think I'll ever stop being mad about the traffic. I don't think my road rage will ever quit. But anyway, don't let me get off on that. That's another conversation for another day. But anyway, 5 years in Seattle. The weather's great, so I'm probably going to be here for a minute. I'm thinking maybe I want to move away for like a year or two and then come back. But this is where I plan to, establish roots. I think I've started to do that, but kind of not really. I don't really know, man. I don't really be out. People don't really see me, but I think everybody who knows me knows that I'm around here somewhere. So if you ever come to Seattle and you're one of my friends that's not from around here, I would say hit me up and I'll show you around, but I still haven't really been around because I just be at the house. So why don't you pull up? Because people were telling that I haven't invited them to come out here. But why don't y'all pull up and then we'll go explore the city together? Because half the shit that y'all probably want to see, I still have not seen. But anyway, Seattle's a dope place. Shout out to y'all, man. 5 years. It has not been easy, but it also has been pretty fun. It's been life-changing. A lot of character development, which I can appreciate. And I've had some pretty crazy experiences, man. Some stuff that, pretty serious stuff, man. So I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that I've now transitioned from being the guy who's killing himself to find that really crazy good job with the fancy title and the fat pay raise to now I'm just a struggling wannabe ass comedian who has a radio show. And then on the side, I have another little side job. But all this foolery, I'm trying to make this full time. I'm trying to literally walk around in this robe all damn day and get paid for being a little less ugly than, some of the people you currently see on TV. So wish me luck, man. Cheers to another 5 years, hopefully. It's all gonna be lit. So let's get into the show. What do we have on tap for today? I don't know where I want to start. Man, let's go ahead and start with some music, man. So before we intro the show, I was talking about the fact that Mac Miller's final album is about to drop. His family announced the other day that they're planning to release that, I think, towards the end of the month. And I was talking to my coworker Jeff, and I was like, "Yo, how do you feel about this? You gonna cop this album?" He said, "Yeah, he probably was gonna get it." And then I started to think about like how I ended up getting into Mac Miller, and it was mainly because of the fact that he passed. That's when I started to check out his music. Not because I didn't fuck with him, but because I stopped really checking for new artists after, like I said, like 2006, 7, 8, or 9, or somewhere around there. Mac was not somebody that I heard of unless somebody was to shove his music in my face, and then I would have listened to it. But nobody did that. So I didn't really hear about him until after he ended up passing away. Listen to his music, I like it. I see why people were so broken up. My man had serious talent. It's a shame that he was struggling as bad as he was. And that's why, there's a major emphasis on mental health. And there is one thing I can say about his passing is that it kind of made me, there's a lot of people who have gone through these struggles that have been famous and have, maybe fallen at the hands of their own struggles and all this type of stuff. And I will say he was somebody that I started to kind of pay a little more attention to, like when people are posting about their struggles with mental health. And also made me start paying attention to the way that I post, especially on days when I'm struggling the most. And then I listened to his music, man. He's got good music, a lot of talent. So I'm looking forward to hearing this album. I hope it's really good. But it also prompted me to think about, I hope that this doesn't become a trend where if his album does good, that in like a year and a half we get another Mac Miller album. Because I don't know how I feel about people taking the voice of a fallen artist and then like trying to have them cut albums every couple of years. I feel like Tupac has like 10 albums, it seems like, after he was dead, where it was like, how he still making music, bro? I thought is he really in Cuba recording? Are you guys getting these via USPS from Cuba and he's, recording and then y'all, cut it, dub it and all that kind of stuff? Or like what? You just taking his voice and then one of you grimy, sorry ass rappers is getting in here kicking these terrible verses. That concerns me. So I don't want them to disrespect Mac and his legacy. So I hope that if this was his last album, and this was all he has left, I hope they put it out, let people enjoy it, and let them cherish it forever. Don't look at the success of it and then try to like cut another single or a Christmas album or an Easter album. Don't try to do no shit like that. So I hope his family is listening. But shout out to Mac Miller, man. Hope that album is lit, and I'm sure it will be towards the end of the month. Let's get a World War III update. So I saw today that said that looked like Trump and Iran are backing off of each other. So maybe there's, tensions are starting to ease. I don't know, man. There's been some crazy stuff happening. We literally just spent the last 5 days going through a roller coaster of emotions. We thought we were all gonna get blown to shit. We thought we were going to war. Now apparently cooler heads have prevailed, it honestly seems unlikely. I ain't gonna lie to you, fam. I feel like all this was just a publicity stunt. It was a way to get everybody riled up, have them go crazy, have them go out and buy shit that they don't need, finding a way to elevate prices on things. And then, maybe if like Trump starts the war, but then somehow he's able to defuse it, it makes it look like he's a savior of some kind, and maybe that helps a re-election. I don't know nothing about this stuff, but I'm just telling you about what it looks like. It's all a major setup, bro. That's what it seems like. Because how you go from talking about if they shoot at us, we're going to shoot back like quick. You go from all that to talking about, look, man, we just want to have peace. And we're just trying to be cool. And fam, they announced to the world that they had 80 million on Buddy's head. Like, y'all, they just backed off of that quick. 80 million? I mean, come on. We was at work talking about how we're surprised that nobody's tried to cash out on that. And I love how when George Lopez says something, they tried to crush him for that. He's a comedian. He's supposed to make jokes. I mean, come on. It's 80 million. Don't act like you guys didn't make jokes about, I'll do it for 80 million. I'm sure there's plenty of people that's out there making those jokes. And then as soon as George Lopez says something, now all of a sudden, here come the comedy police online talking about he got to be canceled and how dare he disrespect his president. Like, bro, no one gives a shit about that orange-looking human. Like, he can get disrespected and roasted just like everybody else on this damn planet. He ain't that special. And I love how he stays lying. He always lying. Literally on TV lying to y'all. Even the people that voted for him. When he's talking into that microphone, he looking at y'all too. He not just looking at us. He looking at y'all too. Lying. It's sad, man. People their brains must have been malfunctioning on the day they voted for that boy. But anyway, it seems like we're probably not heading towards actual war, which I think is a good sign, because I ain't gonna lie to you, fam. And I know they were not going to call me because I'm probably too old, too fat, too out of shape, but I also wasn't going. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not going to get my ass kicked for this dude or get my shit blown up. I saw a video the other day that literally posted on Twitter. A guy hanging out of a truck, filming on his cell phone, right? And there's a guy on a turret on the back, and then there's a vehicle behind them. It must be like their crew, extra people in their crew. Guns out, guy on a turret. And on the video, some projectile missile comes out and blows them up. You're talking about, fam, his friends literally just getting blown up in front of him on tape. And they're still just riding, ready to shoot, ready to kill, ready to blow stuff up. All for what? All for what? And most people don't even really know. You only know what the news tells you. If you're not in those rooms, you're not a part of those major conversations with the people that are making those decisions, you don't know. You don't know what your government keeps from you. You don't know what's in these files. You don't know what the intent is. You only know what they want you to know. That's why all of this shit seemed like a setup. The problem with your man Don 45 is that he's just bad at being the puppet. He's supposed to get out there, shut the hell up, do what he's told from behind the scenes, and then make the shit look pretty. And he can't do that because he likes to be the center of attention. So that's why he's on his Twitter all the time. That's why he's on TV talking shit. And then the next day he comes back and then he's like trying to play it like he's all about peace and doing all these things. He's a terrible front man. That's all he is a front man. And all you know is what they tell you. And some of you guys are very, very intelligent. So you probably do know a lot of stuff. But stop pretending like you know everything and trying to outshine niggas on Facebook who read at like a 5th grade level and have poor grammar and punctuation when they type. That's niggas like me. Stop arguing with people like that. Don't nobody care. Let us get these jokes off. Let us make fun of these stupid people who make these bad decisions and mistakes and have us in this state of panic because now we all think we're getting blown up. If I want to wake up and post 1,500 World War III memes, you want to take that shit, fam. And I don't want to hear nothing about it. Everybody's free to believe what they believe. I believe that it's all set up. But anyways, can you imagine what election time is going to be like? That shit is going to be crazy. And you know what? I'm going this year. In my robe, I'm going to vote. So, catch me in November, in the robe, at the polls. We're going to record it. I might even do a show directly in front of the building, whatever district I'm in at that time once I move, blase, blase. I don't know how none of that works. But I'm going to be there, and we're going to get it on tape. And I'm going to vote for a write-in candidate, and I'm putting my name on there. Let's see. What else we got, man? Hold on. I did... Y'all remember on Tuesday I was talking about that 93-year-old dude who got mad that his apartment got flooded and he shot the office manager? Bro. I was trying to get an update on him, man. I can't figure out if they bailed him out or not. I wonder if he's got family. Who's holding him down? And what's the bond? We got to pay that shit, man. Free my nigga Roscoe. I don't know if that's his name, but he looked like a Roscoe. So free Roscoe, baby. 93 years old, was upset that his apartment got flooded, so he did what he felt like he had to do, man. Okay, no, here was the funny story. So, I don't know much about this, but I thought this was fake when I first heard it. So the other day I see this article and it says, whatever her name is, Meghan Markle, and Prince Harry. I guess these are people who are in the royal family. And I know y'all probably feel like I'm disrespecting them, but I really don't know nothing about them because this is like gossip. I just thought this was funny because I thought this shit was fake. But it said, I saw this article that said that they were removing themselves from the royal family. And I'm like, nigga, that must be satire news. It's got to be a joke. I don't feel like that's something you walk away from. Like, who just walks away from royalty? Like, come on. And then I see today on CNN, this thing pops up and it says their wax works, like their little displays, little statues of them, they were removed from a family display. Like, damn, they're really like opting out of this shit. Listen, I don't know what y'all are going through, but I'm telling you right now, you are not struggling. You need to get your shit together and go back to that royal ass family. You better beg that old ass lady to get back in her good graces. You better call M and 007, whoever you gotta call. Russell Brand, whoever need to help you, y'all better get all the people you need to go over there and beg the queen to get back in her good graces, man. Don't ruin this, man. You're living out other people's dreams, and y'all out here squandering. All for what? All for what? What make you two dust balls think you real special? Come on, man. But this is like pettiness at its finest. Like, how are you getting a wax statue removed? I think that's what it is. I think they all had statues, right? And Madame Tussauds Museum has announced it has removed the waxworks of the Duke and Duchess. Oh my God. Get out of here. Get Meghan out of here. So they announced on Tuesday that they're taking a step back. How do you take a step back from like a royal family? What does that even mean? Like, you're just not going to breakfast in the morning? Like, don't y'all live like in a big ass castle? How you just quitting that? Now y'all going to a 2-bedroom apartment? No pets allowed probably either. Life is gonna be real tough when there's no butlers and there's none of that real shiny silverware. When y'all don't have nothing off that and y'all eating off paper plates and shit, it's gonna be over. I heard Meghan was an actress. I hope she was a good one, and I hope she got some money. I hope she can support this young man. Because what does he do besides be royal? Somebody hit my phone real quick, man. Tell me about these people, man. I don't want to take the time to Google them, but I don't know anything about them. So tell me about these dusty-ass rich people that's over here crying. Hit me up, man. Anyway, we about to take a short break. You were tuned into the Minkle Jackson Show, man. We're going to let some music run, and I got to read some of these. People are texting me about something. I want to figure out what it is so that way we can go back to the conversation. I'm going to read it off because I'm putting everybody on blast today. So if you said something stupid in my DMs, boy, it's finna be on the air. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, man. We are lit. It is January 9th, man. I've been here 5 years in Seattle. It's lit, man. Now I got a radio show. Holy shit. Sherry, good looking out. Anyway, we're going to take a short break. Let's get this music cracking. It's the Minkle Jackson Show. We're live on Track Talk Radio. It's lit. I probably should wear my glasses. I can't really see the thing. The computer's kind of far away. Let me get this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, shout out to Steph. See, that's why you gotta have somebody managing the show. Update on my man Roscoe. All right. So let's see. So I know what he did, but no, Steph, you gotta send me. Let me know if my man is still locked up. That's what I need to know. So you just give me the rundown of the story. But appreciate that, Steph. Yeah. My man was wilding. Buddy went in there. Apartment got flooded. He started spazzing. He went in there because he wanted them to do something about it. They didn't want to do nothing, so he did something about it. I mean, when you see how nonchalant he pulls out the gun on that video, that's why it was kind of comedic, because it almost didn't seem real, because he like had it tucked in his pea coat and he kind of just was like, what you mean you're not gonna fix it? You know, he kind of did one of those like, oh, I forgot I had this. What's up with it? And then it started cracking off. He actually let the one lady walk out the door before he shot Buddy. So at least he was kind of chivalrous. You know, he let her go. He wasn't, you know, what's the rule? One of the top rules, no hurting women and children. You know how it goes. So he shot Buddy. Buddy had that coming. We gotta get some info on him, man. If I need to send some money for his bail or put some money on his books, get him some soups or something. What do 93-year-olds eat? Does anybody know? Send me some info on that. Stupid funny. Yeah, I think the mic is still on, so I'm really talking to y'all and I'm talking to y'all. All right. So another thing that we're going to talk about, which is hella sad, man. Bad news for this family. We did a story a couple months back about a Tatiana Jefferson, a lady who was killed in her apartment by a police officer. And then shortly after she was murdered, her dad passed away. Well, apparently, I think it was either yesterday or today. This is today. As of today, now her mom has passed away. And I'm almost wondering if maybe her mom is literally just gone because of a broken heart. And I know that just sounds crazy, but you know, if you think about it, like, damn, husband gone, your daughter's gone, like what is there for you now? Some people really struggle with that, you know, lose a loved one and then two loved ones. Shit, what are you supposed to do? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get in king mode, you know? No disrespect, but yeah, man, I feel bad for that family, you know, because they're trying to seek justice for the wrongdoing of that officer. And then on top of that, you got a father who's heartbroken, a mother who's heartbroken, and now both of them are gone. Like, their family is just continuing to take losses, and that seems very, very unfair. So shout out to the family of Tatiana Jefferson, man. Like, this is freaking crazy, bro. Whole family gone. It's devastating. Definitely makes you look at life from a different lens, you know. So make sure that while you're out here, that you're showing your family appreciation. You're treating them well, because hey, life is very short, man. You gotta get out here, get right, make sure you heal, do all the good things, keep yourself in good spirits, and enjoy your folks while they're here. Because you never know. I mean, you think about her circumstances and how she got killed. Literally just at 2 a.m. playing video games with her nephew, see somebody creeping through the freaking blinds or whatever the case may be, stands up, you know, gets her gun because she has the right to bear arms, and then freaking gets blasted away in front of her nephew. All because of some overzealous bitch-ass cop. Excuse my language. Sorry, Mom. I told my mom I was going to stop cussing. And we actually talked about how I was doing better. And then the next day I do an episode where I'm wilding out because I couldn't get the microphone to work. Y'all saw me in here. Penthouse episode 1, excuse me. Check that one out. I was going crazy over the microphone. First 5 minutes of the show. The most hilarious part was watching me struggle. So I think we're done with that little screen thing. Yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to use that again. It don't work very well. So, but yeah, man, big shout out to her family. That shit is just so crazy. And the cause of her death is unknown at the moment. So I'm sure once they do an autopsy, they'll be able to figure out what the cause of death was. But man, I ain't gonna lie to you, fam. It seemed like it's because of a broken heart. I mean, and maybe she had, you know, pre-existing, you know, health things. Who knows? But, you know, just outsider perspective at first glance, I'm like, fam, your heart is broken. You just can't do it no more. You probably feel so alone, like, you know, you feel like you've run out of options. A lot of people tend to feel like that. And that's what makes the therapy thing important. And I ain't gonna just dive all on the whole like, yo, this is the most amazing thing just because I went to one freaking appointment. But I will say I denied the idea of it for so long. And I will say after I went yesterday, I felt a little bit better because I recognized that there's definitely hope for me. So it was lit. We'll get into that later in the show. Right now, we letting this music run, man. It's gonna be, this song feel like it's taking forever though, don't it? They're listening to Memories Back Then by T.I. That old record that had B.O.B. and Kendrick Lamar on it. That one was pretty lit back in the day. Get Money. Let's see, what other saved articles do I have before we jump into the NBA talk? Get Money. Yo, see, you know this is weird. Who is Megan Thee Stallion? Who is that? Somebody tell me that. I don't know who the F that is. Like, is she a rapper? Is she a singer? Or is she just no disrespect, but is she just an IG girl who shakes ass? I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm about to ask that on the show and get somebody to reach out to me. Because I see these things pop up on my thing and I'm like, I don't know who these people are. But people like talk about them as if like they're the most important people on the planet. Which makes me laugh because I'm like, fam, I don't know who you are. So to me, you're not very important. And why is her last name Stallion? It's creepy in here, man. Anyway, we're recording live from the Penthouse, tracktalkradio.com. That's where the Michael Jackson show is at. Yo, it's Thursday, man. The Ryan show is up right after this, too. If y'all haven't been checking that out, man, when you listen to the feed live, you should stay on after my show is over and listen to the Ryan show. Those dudes, they kill it, man. So shout out to Ryan, Hamptons Dave, Mr. Cheeks, the whole crew, man. Everybody's lit. I want to make sure I don't forget because it is Thursday, man. We gotta make sure we shout out our team, man. The song is taking forever, bro. I feel like it's not that long, but I feel like it's been playing forever. Crazy, man. Yo, what's Kendrick Lamar been doing? I feel like I ain't heard a good record from him in a minute. All he been doing is features. Probably got so much damn money now, just at the house cooling. I don't feel like rapping no more, dog. I just count the money. Let's see, man. We about ready to dive back in. Oh, I'm about to dive in. Okay, here we go. Don't make fun of me. I know I can't sing, and I know I'm Dusty. That's why I'm King Dusty. Get money. Here we go. All right, cut the music. Here we go. Welcome back, man. It's the Michael Jackson show. I'm in here wilding. I was just pretending to sing on camera. No, I cannot sing. I know that I cannot sing. You don't have to disrespect me and hurt my feelings. You know, my mama said I could be anything I wanted to be when I grew up, and I wanted to be a wannabe R&B singer, and that's what I am. And I lived up to the hype. So, we are live on Track Talk Radio, man. So before we came back from break, I was just talking about some very unfortunate and sad news. We're going back to Fort Worth, Texas. And this story just has so many, I mean, this part is just kind of, you know, something that's off to the side. Doesn't have anything to actually do with the actual case, but it's just very sad. But we have another fallen family member of Tatiana Jefferson, who was the young lady who was killed in her own home by police. I think it was either like in September, October. If you remember the story, she was in her home. It's probably about 2 or 3 in the morning. She's playing video games with her nephew. And I guess like she stands up because she sees someone creeping outside of the house. I guess she is armed because she has the right to bear arms. She goes to protect herself, not knowing what it is. Cop doesn't announce himself, and then he kills her in front of the nephew. Shortly thereafter, her father ended up passing away. And then as of today, this is probably about 8 or 10 hours ago, as of today, her mother now has passed away. Cause of death is unknown, but the first thing I said when I saw this is like, fam, I wouldn't even be surprised if she ended up just passing from having a broken heart. I'm sure she has pre-existing health issues, concerns, and or whatever. Or maybe she, maybe something was done to her. Who knows what the deal was, but I don't know. Just in that moment, my gut was just telling me broken heart. Imagine being in a space where you lose your daughter and your husband in the same damn 6-month period. And you lose your daughter because some guy is just being terrible at his job, not paying attention, not being sharp like he's supposed to be. Heartbreaking, man. I can't imagine what that family must go through on a daily basis. And because of the fact that the case receives so much national attention, and it's like both parents also gone. Like the remaining family members must be getting grilled 24/7 about what does this feel like and how are you and what are you gonna do and what's gonna happen with this and what do you think's gonna happen with the cop and da 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 da. Like it's probably an excessive amount of attention in a time where you probably just want to be by yourself so you can process. Shit's gotta be hard. So RIP to all 3 of them. Damn. Again, if you're just tuning in, Tatiana Jefferson, her mother, as of today, is now deceased. Her father had actually died shortly after she was murdered by a cop in her own home. So just kind of giving an update, man. You know, we try to shout out that family. Hopefully they will receive some justice. Hopefully this cop gets convicted. And we want a long sentence, life, maybe some death penalty. I don't know. Maybe that's excessive. Maybe not death penalty. But I think if you're not going to do your job, follow policy and procedure, you're going to wield a gun, and you end up shooting somebody, it's murder, fam. Like, go ahead and go to jail. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. R.I.P. Tatiana and your mother and father. Horrible, very sad. But anyway, so I did have a question, because I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know who this person is, so I'm about to ask. I need to know what she does, and I'm not just goofing off. I'm being dead serious. So who is Megan Thee Stallion? Is she a rapper, a singer, or is she just one of these girls? No disrespect, get it how you live, players. But is she one of these girls that shakes ass on IG? I genuinely want to know, because I see people I know post videos of this person, and I didn't know if she was just YouTube famous or if she is somebody that is supposed to be checked for. Hit me up, man. DM me, send me a message. I need to know who that person is, because I don't have a clue who she is. Let's see. Let's get back into some of these stories, man. So we got NBA talk, and we're going to start with John Beilein. So if anybody knows who John Beilein is, he used to coach Michigan. He coached them for a handful of seasons. Now Juwan Howard is taking over that job. But John Beilein was actually hired by Dan Gilbert, and whoever their grimy GM is, to go coach the Cleveland Cavaliers. They brought in John because John works well with young talent, and they were hoping that he was going to take their young core and help them get, maybe not all the way back to the finals and all that, how they were doing when LeBron played, but maybe get some of this young talent, and maybe you can, maybe be a 6th, 7th, or 8th seed in the West, maybe start going to the playoffs again, so on and so forth. Does not look like it's happening. They're underachieving as usual. You have guys who have massive contracts on that team that no one else in the league wants, aka Kevin Love. Kevin Love is not happy. You see him throwing tantrums on the bench, arguing with Colin Sexton in the middle of the game, calling out the team, doing all kinds of shit. And so it's not a surprise that the coach would end up doing something equally as dumb. So apparently, I guess it was during a meeting or something, or maybe a film session, he's talking to the team, and he says that during one of his little spiels, he was talking to them, and I guess he called them all thugs. But I guess the conversation is in regards to the pace of their play, so how fast they were getting up and down the court or whatever, and he claims that he meant to call them slugs. Now, I don't know about you. I know there's the UGS. So I get it. There's some parts of the word that are very, very similar. Identical even. I get that. But I'm sorry, man. You can't tell me that you accidentally said thugs and didn't know that the staff had to point it out to you and then come back and say, oh, I meant to say slugs. You know what this reminded me of? My first thought. And I also just watched this movie. I think it was on Saturday or Sunday. You remember on The Waterboy when the guy goes, he's the best damn linebacker I've seen since Joe Montana. And the guy goes, Joe Montana was a quarterback, you idiot. And he says, I said Joe Montana. That's what I thought of when John Beilein tried to hit me with I meant to say slugs. No, fam. You did not mean to say that. You said what you said because you're a little bit stupid. And it's okay. You had a momentary lapse of judgment. I think that's how they refer to it when these types of people do these horrible things. Nah, it's not horrible. I mean, he just called them a name. If they're not thugs, they probably shouldn't take offense to it. Most people who have any type of, self-respect, and they're at a certain type of level of secureness with themselves, they don't get offended by that because they know they're not thugs. Now, while you're in your workplace talking to your staff members, is it advised that you as management call your employees thugs? No. That's a bad decision. I don't think John should be fired. He shouldn't be crucified. But listen, I'm almost tired of telling white people this. Just own the shit. Don't come with the fake apology. Don't try to say you meant to say this but accidentally said that. That shit is tacky. Most of us wouldn't even care or even think twice about it if you just go, oh shit, I just messed that up. My bad, I'm just a little bit stupid sometimes. Yeah, we get it, because everybody does dumb shit. But don't try to come with the whole like, I can't even believe it. I'm not that type of person, and I would never. Some of my best friends growing up were thugs. You know how they do that, man. You know, I had like five. I had 5 best friends growing up who were thugs. Like you count your criminal friends. You count your black friends. You ever notice how they do that? Where they try to put a number on it. like if I let these guys know that it was a number that exceeds 1, maybe they'll think I'm cool and they'll respect me. No, because the fact that you're keeping score of your black friends, it shows how pathetic and ignorant you are. Don't do that. But John Beilein, he called his players thugs. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's a bad thing to say, and then to pretend like you didn't know you said it, and then had to have the staff were the ones who pointed it out to you. You know that in that moment, he knew what came out of his mouth and he said it. And then because no one acknowledged it, he tried to play it off like he didn't even realize it. I think that is pathetic. So that's the only part where I'm like, fam, you're a cornball. But other than that, man, John Beilein's not a bad coach. He'll probably be fired in 2 years because Cleveland won't ever be good. No one on their team is all that good. They have a lot of young talent, but it's guys who don't really know how to play in the NBA. And I know people that live out here are going to get upset because I said that, because one of the guys who plays on the team is a young cat who's from out here, and Mr. Kevin Porter Jr., who's stupid athletic and has a very bright future. But the problem is he plays on a team that is point guard heavy. Everybody wants to just dribble the ball standing in one place and just jack up shots and then just rely on athleticism to make plays. And that's not how you win NBA basketball games. Their team is not that good. They won't be good. Cleveland is where careers go to die unless you're playing with LeBron James. So you don't have to worry about John Beilein facing consequences for his comment, because he'll probably be fired based on the team's record very soon. Let's see. Anthony Davis, man. I feel like my guy Anthony Davis stays getting hurt. And I almost hate that the Lakers are so popular right now, because anytime like any one of these niggas even like breaks a fingernail, it's breaking news on the bottom of ESPN. Oh my God, like Anthony Davis fell the other day, hurt his tailbone. And then ESPN was putting up like little graphs on the screen about all these back injuries that he had. And they're like, oh, see, he's injury prone. I'm like, fam, he fell trying to block a shot because Julius Randle chicken winged him. And for those of you who don't follow sports and don't know what chicken wing means, is when people that go up and they stick out the elbow and they extend. So when he made contact, Buddy's just hella light, and he's not a very like sturdy 7-footer, and he just fell. That's it. And he got hurt. He'll be back in like a week. He's going to be a little bit sore, and I bet you in a couple of days he'll be practicing. And after they come back from the road trip, he'll have rested enough to where he'll come back, and then he's going to end up having 50 points the first game back. And they end up making a big deal about it for absolutely no reason. And you know what? I realize it's because of this. ESPN needs to find a way to suck you in. No, it's not any shade at their channel or anything that they do, because obviously I love ESPN. That's where I get all my sports information. But like, there literally ain't nothing going on. The NBA, although we had all these massive changes, almost everybody is underachieving at this point. Houston's not that good. The Clippers lose games to teams that aren't even going to the playoffs. LeBron is afraid to guard Kawhi. Anthony Davis is literally hurt like every other week, but still playing and getting 50. Portland is not very good. Carmelo apparently is just out here proving to everybody that he still should have been playing this whole time. He hit a game winner the other night. I think he's averaging like 20 points a game, 5 rebounds, and like 3 assists or something. Like, actually playing really well, but Portland still sucks. Utah's not very good. Mike Conley's not living up to the hype. I don't know why they were so excited to get him. He literally is not doing anything. But shout out to Mike Conley for being able to secure that bag in Memphis with 0 All-Star appearances. For one season, he was the highest paid player in the league that year and in the history of the game at that time before Steph Curry got his contract. Mike Conley, a guy who's still never made an All-Star appearance, getting money. And then Memphis ships him off to Utah, and then they're not doing anything. Toronto's average, I mean, Giannis still, although he's shooting more, he still can't shoot that well. He's still relying on the dribble drive, spin move. He still keeps the ball below his waist when he goes to elevate. So you're seeing him get stripped more and more often during the games, which ends up being turnovers. And then the other team's pushing the ball, going the other way. Milwaukee, although they have a good record, just like the Lakers, there's a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of question marks on those teams. And Milwaukee and the Lakers are definitely two of my teams for sure. My 2 teams specifically. But I don't think either of them can win it at this point because they both look suspect. Nobody's playing that well. So I think the league itself is great. People love basketball. They're going to go to the games. They're going to watch the games on TV. But the league is honestly a little bit boring at this point in time. Now, maybe it'll be a little more exciting after the All-Star break and as we transition into playoffs. But right now, it's just boring. The most exciting thing that happened in the NBA in the last 2 weeks, in my opinion, is last night, Jimmy Butler and TJ Warren getting into it. I don't know, man. I'm not going to say Jimmy's not tough. Because I think Jimmy stands up to just about everybody, and nobody really punks him. I don't think Jimmy tries to be a tough guy. I just think it's just within him to, not back down from a challenge or, a fight, whatever you want to call it. The play last night didn't look like it was very egregious, but it looked like it was, I could see why it would piss somebody off. If somebody grabs your arm while you're trying to drive to the hoop and then somehow they go to wrap their other arm around you and it kind of hits you around the shoulder area, you might take offense to that. I did think it was funny that him and TJ Warren get into it. TJ Warren plays for the Indiana Pacers. Jimmy's playing for the Miami Heat this year, which actually was a good deal for them because Miami doesn't look that bad. They have a lot of young talent, but they're actually making waves in the East. But it was funny to see Jimmy and TJ, bumping chest or whatever. And then Jimmy hit him with the, you're fucking trash. You can't guard me. And then TJ was talking about, I can't remember what he said, but he was mouthing something to him. But that's the most exciting thing that happened. They didn't fight. No one in the NBA fights like that. We ain't really seen a fight since Malice in the Palace. Well, technically when Carmelo stole off on old boy when he was in Denver. That was like the last real fight that we had. As far as punches being thrown and, guys being tough. We've had a couple of guys, I remember, who was it? Kevin Garnett and Kendrick Perkins, I think. Or not Kendrick Perkins. Somebody in Perkins got into it where they was talking about, Zach Randolph, man, meet me by the bus. We've had some guys try to fight by the buses before. I think Carmelo got into it with KG one time for disrespecting his wife. But you don't get to see a lot of fights in the NBA. But last night was about as close as we could get. Jimmy Butler, in his press conference or whatever, interview with reporters, whatever you want to call it, he's kind of going off, spazzing, saying TJ's trash, can't guard him. But I was kind of impressed with Jimmy because Jimmy was just keeping it real, cussing, doing the whole 9. I think the league is going to have something to say about that because it's like, fam, we got kids watching this shit, but hey, he was keeping it real. So I think if TJ's really about it and he really wants to fight Jimmy, I think they play again on March 10th. Jimmy even posted on his IG, was like, yo, you're going to have to come see me, fam. So that should be an exciting game. Hopefully by then, Victor Oladipo is back for the Pacers. And he's in full swing because he's supposed to come back January 29th. That's what the schedule says. Hopefully Indiana will have an okay team at that time, and maybe that they'll put that game on prime time so we can see Jimmy and TJ get ejected before halftime, because maybe they'll fight. Because I think they did get ejected last night, like in the third quarter. So Jimmy should know better. If Jimmy really thinks TJ Warren is a bum, then he should not be messing around with him, because you really ended up being the loser last night, big bro, because you got ejected by a guy you think is a bum. So he took you out of your game, and then you were of no value to your team after that point. So there's no point in engaging with a bum. It's not LA Fitness. It's not your local rec center. These are NBA games. Like, you guys are trying to push for a championship. You're not going to win that shit, but you're doing everything you can to fight for a championship. There is no reason to be involved in scuffles with people you think are beneath you. Let him get ejected. There's no reason for you to get ejected. I think Miami still ended up winning by like 20. But it doesn't matter. My point is, you have to maintain composure, Jimmy. You should know better. Let's see. What else? What else is going on in the NBA? LeBron and that hairline. I swear to God, man. I'm so tired of that. But I have no room to talk, so you'll notice tonight I have the headband on because my hairline is looking all jacked up. And it just happens, bro. It just happens. But I'll tell you like this. I will never call that Bosley number. Never, ever. I'll shave it off. I will shave it all off. Don't play with me. You will never see me calling Bosley hair for men, because I'm not trying to have this shit regrow. If it start falling out or it's not looking good, then it's just over, fam. You got to do what you got to do. You got to just take that shit in stride. Because this is the thing with people, man. They're always looking at ways that they can, like, prolong and extend all this stuff. Now, I get it. You want to hold on to it forever, but there's a reason why some of y'all's hair fell out at 16. God don't want you to have that shit. There's a couple of things. He either know you're extremely irresponsible, or he really just wants you to be ugly. For some of y'all, it's the latter. But some of you people don't take care of your hair. You walk around looking like you just rolled out of bed. So maybe you don't deserve to have that shit. So God just let it just fall out. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit out. It be like that sometimes. But y'all got to let that shit go. Don't be calling that number and getting them to give you all these weird ass growth treatments and shit like that so you can maybe have some hair again. And have you seen some of those people on the commercials? Bro, the hair, it looks weird. Looks weird. It doesn't look like it should be on there. Like, it all looks like wigs. Why? If it's not going to look natural, why would you want it? You should have just gone out and got a wig if your supposed real hair is already going to look like a freaking wig. Doesn't make any sense. You won't ever catch me calling that number. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. And I got a whole, let me stop, man. I'm about to roast all my basketball friends because all them niggas is bald. And ain't a damn one of them got any hair. But you know what I respect about them? They haven't called that number. Because they understand that when the time came and time was up for them, that it was over. There was no trying to go through treatments. Like, you're not, some of y'all go to like a rehab clinic for your hair and then, pop up in a week. All of a sudden you got a whole different hairstyle. How'd you go from being bald to now you got the low fade, dark Caesar type of shit? How you pull that off? Or you ever seen where now dudes can go to like a barbershop and you can go from being bald to having a whole full thing of natural dreads all on your hair in a few short minutes. We got niggas really paying like $300 and $400 to get their hair done. That's what like the white girls be paying. Like, they're really they go through it, bro. All just to have the hair. I don't understand it, man. So let me look up, what's a Bosley treatment cost? Because this was on the list. I had to get into this because I saw another IG video of a dude who literally was bald and then all of a sudden had this like hair glued onto his head. They literally are putting glue on a nigga's head. And it lasts for like 6 weeks or something like that. I mean, this ain't Bosley. This is just some stuff that Negroes invented, I think. But Shit is crazy, man. And they really be out there like the cleanest looking lineups. I'm like, fam, you went from looking like somebody's, homeless ghost of an uncle to looking like a damn movie star. That shit is crazy. I don't know, man. The crispy ass lineups. I'm tempted. Maybe I'll call the number. Just hook me up with a treatment right up in the front so I can get the fresh lineup. Nah, can't do that. I have too much self-respect. Anyway, we're going to get into some music, man. Take a short break, and then we're going to be right back, man. This is the last show of the week. There is only 2 shows every single week, and this is the second of 2. So, Penthouse Living. Well, I wasn't living here, but it's Penthouse Living Part 2, man. It's the Michael Jackson Show. We're going to be right back in about 2 or 3 minutes. What we got? We got some Kirko Bangs coming up. We got some Busta Rhymes coming up. Maybe some Cassidy. And yes, it is Hotel. I think it's the remix, so it has R. Kelly and Trina on it. I know somebody asked, oh my gosh, so I think I talked about this on Tuesday, but I'm actually still laughing about this comment I saw in this post. So one of these groups that I follow, somebody posted, are y'all still listening to R. Kelly? And I was dying because I found it after it already had like 50 or 60 comments. And this was one of the ones I just happened to go back and read because I wanted to see how many people were going to be like, yeah. I start dying laughing when I see the very first comment. So nigga goes, yeah, that's my guy. And the only reason I was dead is I was like, bro, you gotta be a brave mother effer to want to put that on a post. I'm sure he probably was playing, but fam, R. Kelly is nobody's guy at this point. But that shit had me dead. Said it with the quickness. Yeah, that's my guy. I'm still riding for him. I don't know, man. I think some of the music can be separated. I don't know. But I also have only watched like bits and pieces of the documentary. Not that really would have changed my mind because I like hearing dope beats and like a lot of songs, because a lot of his music is so old. A lot of these songs are associated with memories throughout the course of like people's lives. So it's not easy for everybody just to be like, well, forget this dude and all his music. Now I have to like pretend like I never heard these songs and never had these moments in life. No, it doesn't work like that. Not that there's a lot of R. Kelly songs that are associated with crazy memories with me. I'm just giving you one example of why a lot of people probably aren't just like F.R. Kelly. It just ain't that easy. And a lot of people do still listen to music, man. I had that one record, Cookie. I had that banging the other day in the car. Boy, that shit was lit. That's got a dope beat. It's, good lyrics, just whatever. But yeah, it's R. Kelly. He's nasty. He's going to prison. It's okay. He's going to get what he deserves because he was able to escape for so long. The second he hits gym pop, if he ain't already in there, he's probably getting his ass dug out right now. So you don't have to worry. R. Kelly's going to get what he gets. But that don't mean you should give every single person in America or around the world a hard time for listening to music. It's just music. Anyway, we're going to get this break real quick, and then we're going to get back into it, man. We lit. Yeah, man, I don't know. Sometimes R. Kelly tracks be coming on. I just be listening to them. It's not that I don't care about the victims of the situation, but I don't care to invest my time hating him enough. Like, I don't know him personally. He's a scumbag. He's trash for what he did, but like, I'm not waking up being like, oh, you know what? Fuck, man, I'm going to write another letter to R. Kelly and let him know how I'm feeling about him today. It's the 10th one this week. No, I'm not doing that. I don't care enough about it. You're gonna rot in prison, pal. That's what's happening to you. That's your reality. So it's cool, man. Some of your music is still fire though. Like, he's lit on that Hotel remix. I don't know. I like it, but people are gonna try to shame me because it's R. Kelly and he did all this crazy stuff. And I get it. Like I said, he's a scumbag. There's no denying that. But some of the music is still hot. Oh, fuck, man. What else do we got? We still got an hour left. I don't know what's cracking off. A whole hour? I mean, I got to talk about what happened at therapy, not in detail, but I will provide some thoughts and feedback about therapy and how I felt about that. Let's see. I don't know. I didn't have a lot of stuff. I mean, it's been a long and exhausting week. I will say that. But a lot of great things have happened, man. There's so many blessings, tons of blessings. I've interacted with some great people. I've actually met a lot of new people this week. So even though the year has started off a bit rough, I also feel like it started off very strong. So that's been pretty cool. And some of what's been cool about it is my willingness to be involved in different things and kind of just allow the game to come to me. I'm trying to be a little more hands off and not always trying to force all the issues with things, not always trying to be in control. I'm trying to relinquish power as much as I can. Because I think it's important that I start to fall back and listen a little bit more and then just allow myself to enjoy my time while I'm here. Life is short, man. Spent all my time being super negative sometimes. And I have a lot more positive days than I do negative, but I think now it's turned where my negative days are it starts to feel like it's career ending, life ending, whatever. But it's not. It's none of that stuff is hair on fire. It's not even that big of a deal. A lot of it's just petty shit. But you still feel the way you feel, because it's just what my fucking life is. That's how it feels. But I like that in 2020, I started to take some steps to try to improve my quality of life for me. Self-care is very important. I always recommend that to everybody. Always take care of yourself. And I've been doing that for years. Like I said, man, the Mac Miller passing was something that I recognized that the mental health stuff was real because even the kids, because I'm in my 30s. I know Mac is kind of a younger guy. His following is a little bit younger. And I was like, man, even they recognize it. And even they are like, yo, this is a big deal. A lot of our people are out here, they're dying, they're hurting themselves because they are hurting. We need to take this shit more serious. And so it kind of opened my eyes up to it too. It's just yo, man, it ain't just me. It's not the older people. It's not just the older people, not just the younger people, but a lot of people are really struggling with these things. So yeah, it's good to raise awareness, but so that's why I continue to press it on the show. It'll always be something that's a part of the show. Man, it's truly important, man. And even this past week, I've had a lot of conversations with other people and friends of mine who were kind of going through maybe not similar struggles to mine, but just struggles in general. And you're seeing how some people are not feeling confident about 2020 because of the way their year has started off and some of the feelings that they have and the things that they're going through. And a lot of times it's honestly just their brain playing tricks on them. I mean, we're not even far enough into it to know what the entire year is going to look like. You just have to kind of hope for the best. So I'm trying to practice what I preach. And I always try to say it should always be glass half full rather than half empty. But that doesn't always work for everybody. But I'm trying to make sure that for myself that I am in that space where I'm constantly thinking glass half full. Look at everything from a positive standpoint. And I try to put myself in that mentality on a daily basis. Let's try to attack the day and look at, even the stuff that may seem like it could potentially hurt us. It's all just a lesson, and then we have to look at the way we can flip it and turn it into glass half full. It doesn't mean that I'm some super aggressive optimist. I'm not that person. I still got a long way to go. I'm still fairly negative, but like I said, I at least try to wake up and put myself in that frame of mind, because the one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to have a string of bad days and be I don't know what's going on or blame it on this one thing. But in reality, the biggest problem is just that I'm not setting myself up for success on a daily basis by waking up with a shitty attitude and a horrible outlook. Like, you got to get up and you got to just go get it. Take your time to, if you got to be a little bit sad, if you got to tear up, you know, if you're any of those things, you got to do that shit. Just do it. But like, take 10 minutes and then it's time to get ready, you know, time to get into it. You got to make the most of your day. Like, don't sit there and wallow in that shit, because all that does is make it harder and harder. You're always going to struggle to get out. It's going to be harder and harder to get out of that funk if you're not pushing yourself to like turn your day around and do something different. And that's one thing that I wasn't doing, is that I will allow myself to have a bad day and let that bad day turn into 2 days, 3 days, 6 days, 7 days, bro. Like, there's some times where I could go a whole week just being horribly pissed off and over nothing. It's petty stuff that don't matter, when I should just be like, you know, looking good in my robe, you know, tucking it in, you know, a little bit under the rope. No, I'm not doing all that. But like, you should be able to be happy. I should want to go play basketball. I should want to interact with my friends. Like, and I would want that for all of you too. Like, you should want to get out and do those things and not allow the walls that you build in your head to cripple you or shackle you. Like, you should never want to be in that, man. You should always want to strive to kill it and be great and be happy. And maybe therapy is something that will help with that. If you're struggling to make a really hard decision in life, this was one of the things that she told me yesterday. She said, sometimes you go through some of your biggest hardships when you're, you know, being faced with making major decisions. And maybe it's big life choices. Like, maybe I'm getting to that point where I'm like, you know, like, maybe my family struggles are because like I desperately want to have a family, or, you know, or maybe like my work struggles are because, you know, I'm wanting to, you know, to level up here, or, you know, do this, do that, but it's just not working in my favor. I don't know, man. It could be a number of things. It's going to be different for everybody, but I think it's important that people go and they check that shit out, because you never know how that shit can help you. Hold up, man. Let's stop the music. We're gonna jump back into the show real quick. Since we're on the subject of mental health, let me go ahead and let y'all know your man went to his first therapy appointment yesterday afternoon. It was good. I liked it. I'm not somebody that likes to talk to complete strangers. I don't really like to talk to people about my problems, because I don't trust a lot of you motherfuckers. I think some of you people are really snakish. Snakes, man. But also, I'm just a very reserved person. I like to just, you know, kind of troubleshoot my own problems and then go from there. But I also realized lately that that's probably the reason why I haven't leveled up the way I want to, nor have I had the type of success that I have dreamed of, is because, and I always kind of go to sports because I am a sports guy, but it's like I've been using an outdated playbook. Some of these plays work kind of well, and you do good every now and again, but they're not plays that work well enough to win games consistently. So going to the therapist, you get a person who is there to give me a second set of eyes and help me revise my plays. That way I can string together more wins, because the idea is to develop more consistency. Continue to have a positive attitude and positive outlook, but it has to be done with consistency, because if it's not done consistently, then I'm going to continue to be in the same cycle and continue to struggle. So I think going to therapy was very helpful. I like that, you know, I was told that maybe some of why I'm having such a struggle lately is because I'm being faced with making some big decisions. And I kind of like that, because I'm in a space where I'm welcoming some of these big decisions. I think major parts of my life are about to change. And a lot of things that I was doing in, like, say in 2019, I'm cutting cold turkey in 2020 and just not doing them at all. And revising a lot of things because I want to level up. And I feel like some of the reason why I have yet to level up in the manner in which I was hoping is because I'm still carrying too much baggage. So I'm trying to board a plane, but I brought 9 carry-ons. They won't let me fly until I remove some of these bags. But this entire fucking time, I have refused to go check them. So I've just been stuck at the damn gate. And so now I'm tired of being at the damn gate. It's time to fly and go, go do what I gotta do and level up. That is what the plan is. So the last couple of weeks have been, I've had I'll say actually, literally the last calendar year has been very enlightening. There's been a lot of hardship, but there's also been a lot of good things. And I think in this last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of terrible things, but also had like what feels like 1.5 million blessings. Have a lot of great people who are rooting for me to win, which I appreciate. And I've had a lot of people go out of their way to show me grace lately. And that's one thing that I'm also learning, is that it's important to show people grace, because you never know when you are going to need to be shown the same thing. And I got lucky, and in my most recently, some of my hardest days, I was shown a lot of grace, and I had a lot of people reach out and had a lot of people step up and, help me with things and help me troubleshoot problems and, just do a lot of stuff that I feel like people don't have to do, because people make their choices. And I'm somebody that easily could be kicked to the curb just based on my poor attitude. I don't make a lot of poor decisions. I don't do outrageous things. But I have a tendency to ruin the things around me just based on my attitude day to day. It's not a secret. You don't have to tell me, and I have not just now realized that. I've known that, but I've refused to get it in check because I don't like when people tell me what to do. You don't tell me, I tell me. Like I said, that's some of my problem right there. This nigga thinks he knows it all. But no, it's in check, man. We feel good. So I feel like therapy was a good decision. I'm excited to go back and we get some things ironed out. I discussed quite a few things in my, my little session. Family stuff, relationship stuff. I don't know. Maybe she can help me troubleshoot why I didn't make it to the NBA. But I already know the answer to that. Just wasn't good enough. But you know what? It shouldn't be that hard on myself. If I have dreams, I should do whatever I can to achieve them. So once I get these knees right, it's over. But no, it was a good thing. I'm glad that I went. Shout out to everybody that I had talked to about this, people who knew about it prior to me announcing it on the show. Thank you for your feedback and your advice. And a lot of you told me personal things about yourself that, although I don't know if you keep it to yourselves or if you tell everybody or not, but I appreciated that you guys were so upfront with me and very real about your own situations and your personal history with the use of therapy. You put me in a very positive frame of mind because I was reassured of, like, if these people who I feel like I'm pretty connected with, if they can do this and they can, make this happen for themselves and they feel like they're seeing real results, then I think I can also see the same thing. So although my experience when I tried to do this in the summer was a complete failure, this go around was pretty dope, man. And the place was cool, man. I had a good cup of tea. Bathrooms were real cool. Room was cool. Temperature was good. It's called, was it Zoom in Bellevue? I don't know what the place is, but it was cool, man. And I ain't gonna lie to you, when I pulled up in the parking lot, I thought it was next to a weed store. I think it was just a vegan spot, but I was about to be lit. Like, yo, the therapy is next to the weed shop, which is next to the Chipotle. Yo, life would have got real crazy. I might be at therapy 2-3 times a week. But anyway, shout out to everybody and anybody who is taking those steps to seek that type of help. I never thought that it would have been this hard to just take that step and actually get out of the car and go into a building and then just go have a conversation with somebody. That seems like something simple that everybody should be able to do without hesitation, without any type of, begging, pleading, pushing, or pulling. People should be able to have conversation. But it is kind of a struggle for a lot of people, and especially when it comes to personal details about your life. So if you have lately or ever have, taken that leap, I'm very proud of you, and I want to applaud you. I also want you to applaud yourself and admire your tenacity. I think it's good that people, actually get that help. And you kind of have to be in a space where you want yourself to get to a better place of happiness or feel relief from certain situations that you were a part of. And you have to kind of be tenacious in your care and how you go after it and approach it. So you're all valued. We need you here. So I hope that you continue to use the techniques that your respective physicians have provided you, the advice and counsel that you've received from your friends. I hope all the positive things are sticking with you and you're able to apply to your everyday life. That way you can function, and you can function in the way that you feel comfortable and you feel happy, because that's most important. Because if you're unable to do that, it's going to be hard as hell to make other people around you happy. You're going to end up being miserable, you're going to end up being toxic, and you are going to end up being somebody that nobody wants to deal with. And that is a place that I do not want to be, but I feel like a lot of times I tiptoe that line. And so the whole point of all this was to make sure that I get as far away from that line as I possibly can. Nothing will be perfect, no day will be easy, but I think with work, effort, and mindfulness, a lot of the stuff that I struggle with can finally be done and gone out of my life, and then I will emerge glorious on the other side in my robe, a winner. But yeah, man, it was cool, man. I guess I'll keep you guys updated as I continue to go to more appointments. I think I'm going to go back in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, man. 2 weeks. Man, let's see. What else is there? So we talked about next week's setup. We got Sherry coming on the show. I'm announcing it again. That way she can't back out. Sherry, I love you. I'm going to be over there. We're going to record. And you got to tell jokes, man. Don't just be sitting there laughing at my jokes. You got to tell a couple too. The people want to know how funny you are, so get the jokes ready. I don't think Sherry really tells jokes, but I'm going to put her on the spot. We're going to write some jokes for her, and we're going to make her funny. If she's not already funny when she's on the Michael Jackson show, she will be the comedic relief going forward. All right? I can't do everything. I need to add more funny people. And as the host come on, my goal and job is to make everyone else funny. And I'm trying to be like the third or fourth, like I'm trying to hit cleanup, I'm trying to be like the third or fourth funniest guy in the show. So, hold up, we might have an update about something. Steph's reaching out. Well, appreciate it, Steph. You got an update for me on that old man? Hit me up. Shout out to Roscoe. I literally don't know what the guy's name is, but I'm calling him Roscoe because he looked like a Roscoe. We're trying to get an update on his status, on whether or not he's still in jail or if he's out on bail after shooting a guy in the leg twice at an apartment complex. The guy he shot was the property manager or office manager, whatever his role is, somebody who deals with the day-to-day things with the apartments. Buddy was upset that his apartment flooded. Management didn't do anything. They also actually blamed him for the flood, and so he came back and was tired of their shit. So he shot the guy. I don't know. I don't really know if he's at fault in that situation. No, I'm just playing. That sounds crazy. I know that he's at fault. That was a joke. But what I'm saying is, if you're 93 years old, your apartment floods, you lose valuables from a lifetime of experiences. And if some young asshole dismisses you or acts like your problems are not a big deal, what are you left to do? You can't rough him up. You're 93. But there are tools that can help you with that. And so Buddy just did what he felt like he had to do. It was the wrong thing. He should not have shot the guy. It's not worth shooting over, but he felt some type of way. So it's pretty crazy. Oh, hold on. Steph's telling me to read. So, okay, so he's facing multiple charges. Yes, I already knew this. Attempted murder with a deadly weapon, burglary with a firearm, but he didn't even try to steal nothing. And carried a concealed weapon without a permit. Yo, my nigga he's 93, he's facing charges. Oh, he's not even in custody. Good looking out, Steph. Holy shit. And he actually almost got killed in the midst of all that. Because when the cops pulled up, he's standing in front of a glass window, like the door is all glass. He's hovering over the victim, still holding the gun. And so the cop, in order to draw his attention, he shot through the glass, and I think it hit Buddy in the jacket, but didn't actually make contact with his skin, so it didn't hurt him or anything. But it's like, fam, you almost lost your life over this. And I wonder if he was thinking, like, well, I wonder if maybe that's why he waited so long. He probably was thinking, look, I'm 93. Maybe I don't have anything left. There is nothing. I'm gonna shoot this guy. The cops will come. They'll blab at me a couple of times, and then it'll be done. And then I think after he shot dude, he was like, hold on, I got so much more to live for. Because then when the cops rolled up, and when they fired the shot, when you see him on tape, Buddy was like in complete shock. Like, it was one of those things like, yo, why are y'all shooting at me? Like, cause fam, you have a gun and you've already shot someone. That's why they're shooting at you. Shit was crazy. He was released from custody, so he's not currently in custody. Damn. I wonder what that court day is gonna be like. I wonder if other people like tenants in the apartment complex will come forward on his behalf and be like, yeah, they flooded my apartment too. Made me feel like shit about it. And then there'll probably be someone who comes up and says that the manager, you sexually harassed them, and they're gonna say that the old man is so sweet, and maybe he's just old and in distress because he has nobody, he didn't mean to do it, and da-da-da-da-da. No, fam. He meant to shoot him. We saw it on the tape. He looked way too calm to be in distress. He shot the guy because the guy was giving him a hard time, and the guy should know better. And the second he pulled out that gun, y'all should have been doing whatever you could to meet his demand. Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and call corporate for you, sir. I'll be right back. Let me go grab the phone real quick. Yeah, you better be doing everything he fucking tell you to do. I wouldn't give him no attitude or none. I'd be like, matter of fact, you want me to make you a sandwich real quick, bro? You don't have to point the gun at me, but I'll make you a sandwich. I got some chips. You can have my whole lunch if you want it. Because in that moment, he has a gun on you. He is the bully who is in charge. There was no reason to continue to, try to tell that man that there's nothing you could do. You better get your ass up and try to do whatever you can do. Because sometimes that's all people want. They want to be heard. They want to feel like you went out of your way for them. Even if they know there's nothing that can be done. I bet if Buddy's apartment would have flooded and you would have said you were sorry, but you went out of your way to try to correct it, and maybe corporate just crushed you and they were like, no, we're not doing it. But he felt like you tried, he wouldn't have shot you. You got shot because you tried to probably play him out, and he probably felt like you treated him like a sucker. So who's the bitch now? All right, what's Steph talking about? Yeah, see, $25,000 bond. His attorney said is due to mental illness. Nah. Yeah, of course you want to use that defense, but no, he shot that nigga. That's it. That's all it was. He was upset because Buddy treated him like a sucker, so he shot him. He's not mentally ill. He knew exactly what he was doing, because if he was mentally ill, I don't know. But it wouldn't have, if you saw the video, you'd be like, there's no way. He was calm. He let the lady walk out. He let her call the police. He didn't accidentally shoot her. He did fire the first shot, which I think was an accident, and scared the hell out of everybody in there, including himself. But, yo, my man shot this dude purposely. He's not mentally ill. Oh, real quick. So I have not a correction, but on Tuesday's show, I talked about the lady in New York who had her young child ripped away from her, and she ended up getting like $625,000 in a settlement with New York City. And I had said something about, like, when I was reading the article, they talked about how in the court case, the attorney had said that the child, suffered from physical damage plus what was it? Like some mental health thing. What did I say? Let's see. Yeah, something in regards to their mental state. And so my whole thing was, at 18 months old, like, how are you measuring that? And so I think the way I kind of set out, I probably sounded like I was very dismissive. And I wasn't saying it as if I didn't believe that that could be a thing. I was just thinking from the standpoint of, this is written on a court document. How do you prove this in court? And then shout out to my friend Michelle, who she was telling me, because she's deep in child development. She's on this type of stuff. So she was telling me that, and I'm just going to read what she sent me. She said, children that young tend to absorb experiences into who they are. Their environment builds their entire foundation. Any abnormality, trauma, can knock development off course. It can cause serious developmental delays. A situation like that one specifically, where it was addressed immediately and the child was returned to their safe environment, can be recovered from pretty quickly. So that makes sense if you think about it. So the payout is probably, and that was just what she was texting me. We didn't read, that's not like off some textbook or something. I don't know. That's probably where she got it from. Or she just learned that in all of her training and all the great work that she does. But this was in our little conversation. That's what I'm saying. But when I read that, I kind of begun to understand what they're meaning. So there's a monetary gain based off that. And even though I'm wondering how can they even track that, it's kind of like a preventative measure. Like, if something is to happen to your child in the future where they struggle for this, we're going to pay out this money because in that moment, I was like, how were you guys able to prove that that child had any of those types of things? I mean, obviously the physical is obvious because you could see where the child had bruises on the body. I was like, but the mental side of it, I was like, fam, like, they can't even talk or communicate. Like, so how can you tell? But I appreciate Michelle for, kind of schooling me on this. But I also wanted to make it clear that I was not trying to be flippant or dismissive to that fact, or try to say that I didn't believe that it could be a thing. Just in that moment, I was like, really? You're not proving that to me, bro. So I don't know if I would have paid out based on that, but I can see why they did. So I just wanted to make sure I went back and checked that. That way people don't think I'm just on here just saying shit just to say it. But shout out to that mom again for getting that money. And my deepest, sincerest apologies, the fact that you had to endure that, especially with your child and that cop. Well, how ridiculous are you? Snatching a baby from a mother? Man, some of these things that cops do, and they do it behind that badge, it's like, fam, that's pathetic. You don't be doing that. People don't do that. Snatch babies away from mothers. Get the fuck out of here. That's dangerous, bro. You ever seen those stories where moms lift up cars to save their children? I'm not taking a baby away from a mother. Shoot, listen. I ain't gonna say who the person is, but it's somebody very close to me that I know for a fact has had to do a very small amount, but has had to do time because their baby father refused to adhere to orders, which was to give them their son. Buddy didn't listen, and Buddy got his eye punched out. So I'm going to tell you like this. It's not in your best interest to snatch a child away from his mother. Moms will do anything to protect their children. Kill if needed. Like I said, I literally know a guy who got his whole eye punched out by his girl at the time. All because he wanted to play games with her and not give the child to the mother. And look at you. Now you're struggling to see out of one of your eyes. Can't even be mad at it. I'm sure my mother was like that when I was young. Probably wanted to whoop my ass every day, but wasn't gonna let nobody else whoop that shit for her. She'll whoop your ass if you try to put your hands on me. But don't worry. At home, because I had it coming, So to everybody who walked away from an encounter with me as a young child saying, damn, that child needs his ass whooped, don't worry, my mom took care of it, okay? You don't even have to question whether or not it was done. You see how stupid I be acting? It's because I had my ass whooped too many times. So that means it didn't really take, but I did receive many a whooping. Doesn't mean it always works or is effective, but shit, it definitely happened. But yeah, you should never want to snatch a child away from his mother. So to the cop that did that, fam, you were probably lucky that you have, you know, a gun, handcuffs, taser, backup. You're lucky you probably have all that. Because if that would have just been you as just a regular dude, that lady probably would have tore you to shreds for that type of shit. Shout out to all the moms out there. Single moms, married moms, all of you. Grandmoms, great-grandmoms, moms of those great-grandmoms. We going all the way back. Shout out to all the ladies, man. And shout out to the fellas who are playing that role as well, and all the moms who play the role as a father as well. We gotta make sure that we show a lot of appreciation, because I know plenty of people who are out here really making it work with not a lot of assistance. They're achieving goals. They're raising their kids to be strong, young, self-sufficient kids who hopefully will then turn into strong, self-sufficient adults. I think that's a beautiful thing to see, because it's not easy out here, especially with all the shit that we have going on. Seems like there's something wild happening every damn day, and we give the young kids of tomorrow every reason to not want to take any of this shit seriously. But there are a lot of people out there who refuse to let their kids grow up to be suckers. And so they really put their best foot forward. They're working full-time jobs because everybody has to work now. You can't afford to live out here if you're not working, unless your husband is, you know, been cooking the books at some corporation, or maybe you guys have been dealing cocaine out of the basement or something like that, and y'all got hella money. But most of these people out here are having to work all the freaking time. And you have people who are working, they're balancing home, they're balancing extracurriculars, like they're just doing the most. So shout out to all of you. If you got sports tournaments this weekend, or you know, you have birthday parties that you gotta go to and take kids to and do all those things, you know, you're essentially trading your weekend of rest after a hard week of work for a weekend of hard work with your children, after a hard week of work with your children. So I always feel bad when I say I'm tired in front of a person who's a parent. Because I don't have kids, man. I'm only tired because I wear myself out, and you know, stress makes me exhausted. But there are actual parents who are like physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted because they're doing everything they can to raise another human or multiple humans, take care of a spouse or a significant other, or you know, try to find time for themselves. They're dealing with a shitty boss, or you know, horrible coworkers. So hey, look, pat yourselves on the back, man. You're almost making it through another week. Keep plugging away. You're doing a great job. I'm proud of all of you. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna enjoy the weekend not being at a sports tournament, not working, doing whatever the fuck I want to do, which ain't a lot. I don't do a whole lot, but that's the, you know, that's also the thing, is that this weekend will actually be quiet for me. Peace and quiet, you know what I'm saying? While some of you are going to be hearing nonstop, Mom, Dad, oh my God. You're going to hear that all weekend. And I'm not finna hear none of that shit. So shout out to you, and you have a good weekend. It's probably going to be rough for y'all, especially because we're about to have snow days in Seattle. I think everybody's freaked out about the snow, but then, you know, all the kids are very hopeful because they want days off. A lot of parents are hopeful because they want days off too, but I don't know why the parents are hoping for that, because you know you're not getting a day off. You're going to be managing your children unless your kids are old enough to manage themselves. So if there's any snow day parties popping, let me know. And we will still have shows next week. So if you want to be a part of the snow day episodes, reach out to me. We'll set up a location where we can all go kick it during snow time, and then we'll turn the show on at 7 p.m. and we'll rock till 9 both days. I'll bring the alcohol. Even though I don't drink, I'll bring that for y'all. Somebody bring me a pizza and we'll call it even. Let's see, we got some more reports. Here we go. We got people saying they're finna come drop their kids off with me. That's fine, I'm a great babysitter. I charge $150 an hour, so I hope you can afford that shit. Your kids are gonna learn a lot. They're gonna learn about disappointment via board games, AKA Sorry, or Uno, because I don't take it easy on nobody for nothing. They will be required to read or do some type of educational components while they're within my care, because I don't want their brains to start slowing down. They end up being stupid like me. We'll also work on character development, how to treat people nice, how to be good to one another, how to share. It's gonna be a whole thing, man. I work with kids since I was 16, so the babysitting is easy. That's why I charge $150 an hour. So look, if you need childcare, hit me up, but you gotta pay me before. Don't try to drop your kid off and then try to pick him up and be like, yo, man, I got you next week. No. Hell no. I want my money up front. Pay me before the show. Anyway, man, let's see. What time is it? It's already 8:40. Holy shit. We are breezing through the show, man. In 20 minutes, the Ryan show is coming on. Their show is lit. Ryan, your show is lit, bro. If you haven't taken the time to listen to the Ryan show after it comes on the Michael Jackson show, I think you're missing out. So take that time tonight, man. And you know what? Next week when we have those snow days out here in Seattle, y'all might as well, because you're not going to be working on that Friday, because I think Thursday is the one day that we're really supposed to get the snow. But who knows, man? You know how the weather people be lying and shit. But if we get it on Thursday, you might as well just stay tuned in if you still got power and then just listen to their show after mine, because it's just lit. Man, 8:40. Let's see. We got a couple more articles. See, these were ones that I had looked at today, and I was like, I didn't know if I really wanted to talk about this stuff, because it really wasn't all that interesting. But Usher has some new records that's finna drop. And I was listening to the one song today, and obviously it's him working with Jermaine Dupri again. So they have a long-lasting work relationship. You're expecting that the music should be hot. And it actually didn't sound too bad. I ain't gonna lie, I've been a little bit skeptical of a lot of the content that Usher puts out lately, because over the years, and I don't know, I don't want to say it's because he's getting old. I don't think he's washed up. I still think he's close to, if not one of the kings of R&B. But some of his stuff is just starting to take a slide. And when you compare it to what is being put out now, what type of content people are seeking from male R&B artists, his stuff has just been okay. His last full album, I know he had one last year that was like an EP or something like that, but his last full album actually was pretty good. It wasn't too bad. And then I know what he had. He had a short EP where every record features some Atlanta rapper, I think. I could be wrong about that. Maybe that was just one or two songs, but it was the same guy. Maybe it just wasn't that good. But I was gonna say, that shit was not that good. I felt like Usher could do better. So the new stuff with Jermaine Dupri, it sounded good when it was thumping on Twitter, so I'm hoping for him that he'll actually put these records out and it'll actually be hot. I know after there was the whole herpes scandal, things were very quiet and bleak for Usher, but hopefully maybe he can make a comeback, man. So shout out to him, man. We need some good R&B music, some of the real stuff, man, because Usher is one of the last of the reals. And when I say that, I mean actually making good music, not just making the stuff where it's yo, girl in the club, big ass booty, come home, get naked. That's basically every R&B song now. None of the stuff is really you remember how niggas were in the rain singing how they loved their girl, and they had their hand up and they're pushing the wind and doing all that, shirts off in the desert, or walking along the beach and doing, remember how they used to do all like real love songs? Like, we don't get none of that no more. Because everybody's just fucking for 40, so it don't matter. You don't have to love any of these girls at this point. It's basically how music is set up. I don't agree with that, but I'm saying it gives the appearance that all you need is the 40 and you're good. And listen, some of you ladies, you're online, and you're not ashamed to say that you'll take the 40. So you can't be surprised when niggas just decide to completely give it up on making R&B music. They might get tired of it because it's just not worth it anymore. Take your 40 and go home. And some of you aren't even worth 40. I want to say that. I know we're trying to pretend like 40 is the minimum, but some of you are not worth 40. I don't even know if some of you are worth 25 cents. And I ain't got no damn sense for saying that. But it's kind of true, man. I would say, this was funny. I was talking to my coworker about this the other day. There are literally people that like their stories pop up like on my Facebook. And some of these people, it's really sad. You see some of them, they're on their stories and they're like, hey, come hang out with me. Those words are written on top of what looks to be somewhat of like a nude photo. And then underneath the come hang out with me, it says something like, for X amount of dollars. Why do you think you are somebody who's worth being paid to hang out with? And if you were one of those people who was worth paying to hang out with, you wouldn't be on Facebook, fam. You wouldn't be advertising yourself on your story on Facebook. At only $100? You don't think you're worth more than $100? Listen, going forward, if you niggas want to hang out with me, I need $10,000 up front. And that's the minimum. Don't ask for a discount. That is the discount. Should have been 15, but I'll let it go for 10. 10,000 if y'all want to be in my presence going forward. It's not a game, man. I told you. If I didn't enter the year 2020 with you, consistently talking to you, it's probably over. And like I said, if you want to get back in my good graces, 10,000. Pay me before the show. Time is this? 8:45. Holy smokes. Man, it's getting ready to be my bedtime, man. It's been a long week. I think in the last 5 to 7 days, I've maybe slept a total of 15 or 16 hours. We're not getting a lot of sleep, but we are at the gym every single day. I'm almost busting out of this robe because I'm just getting so buff. No one said buff since 1986, but it doesn't even matter because I do what the hell I want to do. But yeah, man, I'm in the gym. You know, it's crazy. The last few days, so I went to the gym on Monday. The gym was packed. All these people with their New Year's resolutions, they're all getting it, right? We fast forward to Thursday morning. Tell me why that thing, I've never seen it empty so early. People already gave up on the New Year's resolutions. Fam, it's the 9th day of January. Y'all couldn't go to the gym for 2 fucking weeks, man. Come on. And some of y'all be on your thing posting all day. Wait till I get this body. Oh, I'm gonna kill him when I go back to this. Y'all gonna see. Y'all was hating on me before, but you gonna see. Like, come on. I don't want to see that, and then see you passing judgment on people for how they look or making fun of people for being at the gym, but then y'all are too lazy to go. Don't give me that. But I also appreciate the fact that most of you don't want to go because all the machines have been open. I've been able to go in, breeze through, do everything that I need to do, plus a little bit extra, and not feel like I was bombarded with people being in my freaking way. Except this one group of there's 5 or 6 of these people that are every day just in everybody's way. And they spend most of the time just talking. You know, obviously only one person can work out on the machine at once, but they got a whole fucking crew. So they got to cycle through everybody. They're in there for like 2.5 hours just being in the damn way. It's a tight fit in there, man. Y'all might need to pair off and then y'all just work in little small groups and rotate. Do some circuits or something like that. Get out of the damn way. Because all of y'all trying to be on one machine, nah, fam, that's doing too much. And I'm even at the Signature Club, man. We ain't at one of these like low budget LA Fitness. I'm Signature Clubbing it these days. And it still feels like I'm in LA Fitness in Burien. That's not good, because I'm out in Kirkland, man. I thought Kirkland was better than that. Kirkland's out here acting like Burien. It's crazy. But anyway, man, look, I think we're closing out tonight. We're going a little bit early so we can let the music play. Like I said, man, we got the Ryan show coming up next. This was part 2 of Penthouse week. So I appreciate if you tuned into the live show. Steph, good looking out on all the information and listening. Yo, Sherry, hit me up, man, so we can set up the time to get the show set up so that way you're hosting it with me on Tuesday. Don't play like you don't know that. Because I don't have to come find you, man. Anyway, Tuesday, we're going to have a special guest co-host. It's going to be lit. I'll let you know about Thursday's show. We're going to probably be in a different location, but I'm going to start bouncing around because we can do this shit mobile, man. It's super easy. So today's show was much better than Tuesday's show, and I appreciate everybody that had confidence in that, including myself. Man, I appreciate myself because, I mean, who better to thank than to thank me? Because without me, there's none of this, man. So, yeah, thanks, me. You're doing great, and we love you out here. I know. Anyway, good night, y'all, man. It's the Minkle Jackson Show. I am your host, Minkle Jackson. I'll see you next week on Track Talk Radio. Don't forget, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to my YouTube page, man. Like this shit, share this shit, subscribe to this shit. Do whatever you guys to do, man. Because I'm going to remember you whenever we get big, and I'm going to throw a big-ass pizza party at some little park or something like that, and then we can all get the cops called on us, and then we'll ride in that motherfucker. Anyway, man, I'm out. Ryan show is coming up next, man. It's lit. I'll see you guys next week. Well, and that's the show. I don't know what's good with that, but that's not really working that well. I was in the road today, feeling good. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We're live every week, Track Talk Radio. Man, I've said it once, I'll say it again 10 million freaking times. That way no one can ever say they don't know where the show is hosted at. Like I said, we're gonna have some special guests next week. Hopefully we'll have some more stories for you guys. This seemed like it was kind of a boring week because I was so busy doing a ton of other things. But I think next week we might end up having both of our shows go with almost no music because we're going to be having guests. So it'll probably be a lot of talking. But yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week and into the weekend. If you were in the Seattle area, get prepared for those snow days. Hope you stock up on food and canned goods. If you guys are doing any traveling, be safe. Yo, man, don't do anything that I would do, man. It's crazy out here. But anyway, I'll see you guys next week, man. Like and subscribe. Do your boy a favor, man. Help me get lit so I can go on the Ellen Show in my road, man. It's lit. The Minkle Jackson Show. I'm out.